Hey, good morning, guys, and welcome to today's market profile analysis for Bank Nifty. And if time permits, I'll also cover the analysis for Nifty also. So today is a very eventful day, and one of the reasons why is because we have a budget session going on today, and so up to 11, expect sideways development, and from 11 to 1 is where the our finance minister, we will be getting she will be sharing the announcements and the other data points. So today, it's a day to avoid, or if you want to still you have that itch to trade, you can trade post event, that is around 12 or 12:30 or 12:45. So post 1 p.m. is where we will have a IV crash, and overall the IV is still pretty high. So be aware of because again, where will you keep your stop loss? So stop loss management is an important thing to look at. Okay. So let me just share my screen, and let's look at first look at the IV data. So I'm just going to Bank Nifty, and if you see here, the IV is still higher, 54. So still a bit higher. Here also it's about 31. So not an ideal day, if you are an option buyer like me, like I am. Okay. So let me just see where the close was. So, okay, that's fine. I'll just jump to the market profile chart. And, so let's just zoom in a bit. But, what I'm currently seeing is we are in a sort of a balanced profile. So this is an overall a balanced profile, so if you see there are stops above this level, stops below this level. This is where, there are sell stops. This is where, there are buy stops. So the buyers yesterday is, where they have kept their overall stop losses. So just be careful, and, overall the auction is trading above the 2-day low. So, this is where, the supply shut off. And then, if you see the overall price action, this is where the reversal happened. We had open equal to high yesterday, and then, 40,800 is where again the supply came in, and, then they took the auction lower, and 40,500. So if you see yesterday, we opened around 40,600 something. Immediately we dropped. We started seeing supply getting shut off at 40,200, and that's where the reversal started. So immediate point of reference would be the 40,500 level. That's where the price. So if you see here from the structure point of view, there were stops here. There were sellers coming in above 4,500, which was clearly taken out. And then the next area where, the sellers came in or the supply came in was around the previous day high, that is around 4,800. So it was still chopping. So yesterday, if you see, this was in a 500-point range, which the price was just chopping up and down, up and down, up and down. And other thing, which I wanted to share is, we have a particular gap here. So if you see, we have a gap, we have this gap, and this is 41,500 levels where, again, a lot of call positions have been created. Okay. So we will look at the pre-open data. The current time is 9:03. Let me just open the pre-open data page and shift to Nifty. Sorry, Bank Nifty. Okay, so data is still coming in. It's pretty flat. So we will look at those data, later on around 9:07. Current time is 9:04. Okay, but overall, we are seeing higher lows, no higher highs. And this is the zone where again we would see some supply coming in, and this is the 41,000 level. So a very dull boring day will, dull boring movement will happen right in the open. So there are stops around this level. So if we open with a gap up, 41,000 is the level, which needs to be observed. And this is the choppy zone. So if the price opens within this level, expect choppiness, around this zone. Okay. uh Parallelly, yesterday's, overall inventory. So let me just zoom out a bit, and we will look at, the 3 days data. So what is the inventory data telling me at the moment? So first of all, we have got this gap. So we still have got this gap. This is the zone where, sellers are present. So up to 41,100 is where, I'm seeing good amount of supply. So if the price again reaches here, I'm expecting a sort of a responsive selling behavior. So this is that zone wherein, I'm looking for responsive selling. This was the zone where, the buyers were trapped on 27th of January. And that's why, as soon as the price is reaching here, we are seeing some sort of responsive selling. So day before yesterday, so on Monday, we saw some supply coming in. Yesterday also, we saw the supply coming in. And, it tried to close higher, but, it did not. So expect, I will say not expect, it's time is 9:06, but, we'll get some more clarity in 2 more minutes. But if the price opens above this level, I'm expecting a choppy, all a choppy zone. And below it, so this is where, there are trapped sellers. If I just look at the yesterday's inventory, this is the zone where, the sellers are trapped. And if the price reaches here, expecting responsive buying. And so that level is 40,600 level. Okay. So overall, I hope you are getting the clarity in terms of, what are the things that I'm currently looking at. Okay. So the time is still 9:06. Let me see if what are the other things, to notice today. So from the overall, event calendar, yes, we have the union budget coming in. But apart from that, there are some other data points, which are going to come in. And that is that was the I think that is the data out. So we had a Fed announcement coming up. That's fine. So let me just switch. Let me just close this. So I think for us, the main data point to look at is the union budget. And just avoid the trades. So Dow Jones is pretty positive. Dow Jones is positive. Nikkei, Hang Seng, they are still flat. I would say positive to flat territory. Dollar index is 101. So this is a good sign. USD is falling. VIX is rising. CL, crude oil is rising. So these are the factors. Even the gold, if I'm seeing, this is also rising. So yeah, not a good sign for banks. And the pre-open data is out. So we are opening with a gap up. So let me just hit refresh, and we will look at what's the number which is coming in. So one of the good things about Go charting is this it gives you faster. So here TradingView, it's still not come up, but the pre-open data is around 4115. I'm not seeing the change, but let me see. The time is 9:08 now. Yeah. So, in a country like India, data is not available at the right moment. So you always have to identify, where the data is lying. And so for this is the higher time frame chart, and overall, I'm seeing yesterday a good amount of supply has shut off. Buyers have started to create positions. But yeah, there are trapped sellers, from the inventory perspective. So yes, it was a gap up opening. So I think it will be, yes. So 41, 115, 500. So 459 points, 1%, 1%, up move. Okay. So, okay. So now what is it that I'm looking at? So what are the overall? So first of all is we also have another open equal to high here. 4115 is the data. So 4100, is where I'll be looking the overall reaction. So let me just zoom in a bit. The letters. Okay. So 41,100 and okay, where is 41,100 line gone? Okay, now it's here. Sorry. So this is the level, first, which I'll be looking at. Second is this level, and I'll be seeing whether this is acting as the level of resistance or support, and what's the overall behavior price action which we are getting developed. I think I'll continue, to decode this in the live market. So its time is 9:10. In 5 minutes, the market opens. So my current trade plan is, first of all, the area of interest is 41,100 and 41,000. Okay, so these are the two levels. And second is, this zone is where, supply came in on 27, that is last Friday. So I'm expecting the sellers, to come in here and, at least take and, try to fill this gap and see if it fills the gap till 4,800. So, if this happens, so this is the one of my first trade plan. Second trade plan is, around 41,000 level. So second trade plan, so let me just switch the colors. Second trade plan is, it opens, we see rejection at 41,200 and, we see some more rejection at 41,000 and we are just, trading in a range of 200 points. So this is the second auction or, the price development, which currently I will be looking for. And the third price action or, the third development, which I'm seeing is we continue higher, fill the gap and, see some rejection, filling the gap and, then we are just, chopping in this 500 range. So 41,500 is the other reference level. This is the third. So these are the three data points or, the intraday plans, which I have, and I'll not be looking to trade today. Maybe after 1 p.m. and, I'll be looking, first of all, how the IVs are present. Let me switch back to the option chain. Let me hide this. So that way we can retain the data. But if you see, so 41,115, right? So 41,100. So 41,100. So if you see here, it's 417. The premium is 417, and here the premium is 561. Even if you look at just this level, so 600 to 400, so still pretty high premiums. And other thing is, so 41,100, there are short covering, so calls are exiting here, they are booking, there are minus 2,000, 3,000 at this level. 41,500 is where, the calls have exited. 41,500 puts have also exited. So basically the straddle positions, they are just booking up their profits, nothing much or, no major change is happening. So the current time is 9:13. You can see the clock here. Other thing, which I forgot to share is we have some buyers, who created their inventory. So they will be the first one to book their profits. And I'm expecting a responsive selling and, the pre-open data. So this is where, the indicator which I coded to measure the inventory, helps. So basically we are opening right in the middle of the supply, so the sellers and the buyers. Okay. So nice fight is going to go on. And 41,100 is the level, to focus upon. So let's see whether we get responsive selling or whether we get responsive buying. Okay. The time is still, so here is the clock, so, look at, we will see, with the live market data, still a minute to go. But yeah, so these are the three trade plans, which I'm thinking, which I'm having. And 40,500 is where, we still have a level of equilibrium, and 40,000 is where maximum put positions have been created. So, a very interesting day, a very interesting and a challenging day. let's see, how the price opens. So in next 30 seconds is where we'll be looking at. So I'll just close this data. I'll just close this tab. And let's see, which path, whether is it the first, is it the second, or is it the third, which opens in the next 15 seconds. Okay. And, I'm also looking here parallelly. So this is the screen, this is a 30, I think 38 inch screen, wide screen of LG. I bought it in 2019 and it is still helping me a lot. Okay. So the price has opened. So I'm looking at this. So it opened. So currently the auction path number 1 is the one, which is currently happening. So 41,000 is where some sort of responsive buying is happening. Okay, so sorry, not plan number 1, it's plan number 2. Here we are seeing responsive selling coming in at this level. So the sellers are the ones, who are strong at the moment. And it is just chopping in that 100-point range. So let's see whether the path number 1 develops or the path number 2. Okay, this is the zone of supply. This is where, this supply was seen, and we are just chopping in this 100-point range. Now you look at, okay, so I'll just delete this. Now, you can pause, you can take a screenshot of the paths, or else, let me do one thing. Let me just erase, all this drawings. So look at the overall structure here, so let me just erase all this. And, let's now zoom in this chart and, analyze, what is it that, currently I'm seeing now. Okay. So you look at the overall wick, so first of all is the supply is getting absorbed, so this is a single wick, it went, and, we also have a good gap up opening. And 41,100 is where, both the buyers and sellers, they are fighting really hard. The price has moved above, so you can take a quick long trade, keeping your stop loss below this level. And, the first target is 41,200, and see, but it is just chopping in this 100-point range. Let me see if I can erase this data. Okay. Erase this, I'll erase this, I'll erase this, I'll erase this, erase this, and I'll also erase this. Okay. So that way, we have much more clarity. Okay. So auction path number 2. So this is the one, which is happening. So this is that 100-point chop range, which is happening, which is developing. And price is still above 41,100. So good sign. Let's continue to observe, how the overall price is still developing. Yeah, so it's a good sign. Just chopping around in 100-point range. And the time is 9:17. So you can see the time here. We are looking at the live market, and, it crossed. So the behavior is supply is coming in. And, now, second trade plan which I have is, if the price opens above, goes till 41,100, I would expect some sort of resistance. So this is where, I can take a put trade, and, keep a target of, 41,000. But yeah, that's a quick scalp. So all the trades which I'm sharing are more in terms of the in the scalp trades. Okay. So just chopping. So 41,100 is the immediate support. 41,100 is the resistance. So we are just chopping in this 100-point range. Are there any news? So let me see if there are any news. Nothing much. Nothing much. Okay. So now let's see whether we get some sort of resistance at this level. The time is 9:18. So if it closes above, so I'll be looking at the close. Still a minute to go. So it has crossed 41,100 level. Supply is still coming in. Now it is below it. So it is just chopping around 41,100 level. Delete, and so the auction path number 2, the one in the yellow, is the one, which is active. So it is just chopping in this range. Yeah. So what should you do now? So one thing is wait for this candle close. If it closes below 41,000, you can take a quick, take a put trade, keeping your stop loss above this particular candle high. And then, your target can be 41,000 or the mid of this. But yeah, that's how, So today you won't be able to find the quick trades. Let me see what is the overall option premium, while this is getting loaded. Is the data refreshed? Yeah, it is refreshed. So 431 call side and 521 or 470 on the put side. Okay. Still pretty high premiums, compare it to today being a Wednesday. Okay. So we are still in the zone of supply. Okay. So I know supply is present above, there is demand below, there is a gap. So now this is a good point to take a short trade. Yeah, keep your stop loss around this 41,116 and see, this would have been beautifully worked out. Now you can keep your trailing stop loss below 41,100. And if this particular hits, then you can just exit. So, that's the sort of a quick scalp trade, which you can take on an intraday basis. Okay. So yeah, so auction path number 2 is there. Let's see, how the overall, what are the budget numbers coming out, and if we see that is it in favor of us middle class people and retail traders. But thank you. I hope you enjoyed today's live session with the data points which I'm looking at, and catch up. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thank you. Bye for now.